You watched that game last night. That was a terrible game for 50 minutes, and then all of a sudden, Kyler and Marvin Harrison wake up from their K-hole and could play some football. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was weird, man. That first half, the Arizona Cardinals just make me sad watching them. I don't know what it is. It's like I get bummed out watching them play. Kyler doesn't really seem like he wants to be there. Even when he does something good, it's like there's something just really odd about that group. But they do play weird football games. Like the Seahawks and the Cardinals, whenever they get together, something really strange is going to happen. And that was a bizarre game last night. And the first half was really odd. The way that I don't know who was to blame on some of those throws where it looked like Harrison maybe didn't run the right route, or Kyler maybe thought he was going to go somewhere that he didn't. But there's some weird stuff, because usually when you see something like that happen, there will be some form of communication between the quarterback and the wide receiver afterwards, where they try to either work things out, get on the same page, or just get mad at each other. And there was just nothing. It was like, okay, another missed throw. Let's just go back to the bench, sit down, and stare straight forward into oblivion. It was a strange game last night, but it's weird whenever those teams play. It's the Seahawk energy. Seahawks play unusual games, and they let the Cardinals stick around, and it almost pulled it out.
Yeah, they did get the win though. It was, dude. So I wanted to ask you about this. I'm a big listener of the podcast. I'm saving the Daniel Jones interview for my ride home this afternoon. We just had Maryland Governor Wes Moore on, and he said something that's really pretty interesting. He's like, man, because the Colts are 3-0, but everybody's like, yeah, they're 3-0, but is Danny Dimes going to keep this up? And Governor Moore said, is it hard to trust Daniel Jones, or should we just not trust the Giants? Because more and more of these former Giants players get somewhere else and find success. What did you learn from Danny Dimes in your interview? I feel like you've interviewed him before, so you probably know him a little bit.
Well, we actually haven't had a full interview with him yet, and we did one question with the quarterback with him. So Everybody asked him one question. It wasn't a full interview, so I didn't really get that deep into anything with him. But he seems like a normal dude, like just an average guy. And I think I say that in like a good way, a guy that won't get like too amped up or too excited. So I root for him. I think that the Colts are definitely the number one team in the NFL where people are waiting for them to turn back into a pumpkin, right? They're the clock-struck midnight team of this year. And we're going to take whatever happens in the Rams game this weekend and make it mean something for the Colts. Like either the Colts were made of fool's gold and they're going to come back down to earth, or the Colts are legit and could win the Super Bowl. Those are kind of like the two options after this weekend. But yeah, I mean, Daniel Jones just seems like a regular guy. He's better than people give him credit for, but I don't think he's like going to be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. But in the right system, like if you get Shane Steichen on the same page with him, he's more than capable of winning a lot of football games.
I tell you what feels bizarre is he's my quarterback in one fantasy league. And
Is he?
Yeah, I don't trust it, but he's been all right.
Is that the one you drafted, or that's the one they gave it to you?
I had Fields, who got concussed.
Oh.
So I'm kind of I picked up Dart. I'm in the quarterback abyss. I'm in the Skins signing Ryan Fitzpatrick, Heineke. I'm in that world. So let's switch it to Washington. Talking with our friend PFT Commenter here on the Rude Guest Hotline. You can find all of PFT's work at Barstool Sports. Make sure you listen to the Part of My Take podcast. It is my favorite podcast. I don't miss one. It seems like Jaden's not going to play. It seems like Jaden wants to be playing. I think you want him to rest. Where are you at in the Jaden Mariota universe?
I'm okay with Jaden sitting another week if there's anything wrong, if he's banged up at all. I don't want him rushing back. That's how you get injuries that maybe don't even have anything to do with the current one that he has, where you're overcompensating for something. So I know I'm actually in the perfect spot right now because I like the fact that Jaden wants to play and that he's pushing to play, and then I like the fact that Dan Quinn is like, we're not going to play if you're not practicing with the team. If you're not doing a full practice during the week, you're not going to be out there on Sunday. I'm okay with that. I'm taking like the big picture, and I do think that these are the two games. If you were to pick a 2-game stretch of the season to say we're going to have Mariota start for 2 of them, it's the Raiders and it's the Falcons. And I'm okay with Mariota playing this weekend it's the piling up of the other injuries that's really starting to concern me now. Like Jaden, obviously, big deal. Don't want him hurt. Let's keep him healthy. But it's like everybody else. There's Terry. I know that there might be some good news with Terry, or maybe he might not be. It might not be the core injury that we were fearing that it was. But then you look down the list and you see just a laundry list of dudes that are starting to get banged up, and that's what concerns me. It's like you can go next man up for a couple of these positions each weekend, but then when it starts to be multi-weeks and you get new positions getting hurt, there's a point where it becomes too much to get over, and I'm just starting to worry that we might be getting there soon.
I'll ask this question. Do we ever get to a point when we stop saying rest Jaden when he gets like a little nick here or there and he has to play too? Do we ever get to that point?
Yeah, I think we probably will get to that point, but I don't think that we're there yet, because I know he wants to play. I know that Dan Quinn's being maybe erring on the side of caution a little bit. I think it's these 2 weeks, and then let's get him healthy. And especially if it's a knee, I don't know the extent to which his knee's sprained, but I'd rather not mess with that one. I'd rather just be really, really cautious for now. But yeah, I agree. At some point later on this season, if he's dealing with something, then everybody else is playing hurt too. And he did that last year with a broken rib. So I don't think anyone's out there questioning his toughness yet. Mm-hmm. But I like where we're at right now. I'm okay with Mariota if we have to watch him for another week. He's more than capable. He might be the best backup quarterback in the NFL right now. So we're fortunate enough to have a guy like that. This is why you pay him millions of dollars.
Well, a little bit of breaking news here. I'm seeing from reporters John Keim and Nikki Jabvala. Practice just started in Ashburn, and Jaden is not on the practice field as of now. Now, the practice is going to go a lot longer than the media is allowed to watch, so maybe he'll be out there later. We'll find out. But that tends to tell me all we need to know about who's going to be playing on Sunday. Terry McLaurin also not there. That's not a surprise. Honestly, I think I don't think Terry's playing. I don't think Brown's playing. I don't think Bates is playing. Bill is a big question mark. Didn't practice Wednesday or Thursday. Wednesday, they kind of communicated via sources, I'll say, that, no big deal, don't worry about it. Then when he didn't practice Thursday, he worked off to the side. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I think Bill's a big question mark. Let's say it is Mariota. I think largely fans are pretty darn confident in Mariota, and deservedly so. Mm-hmm. But now you're talking about no Terry, no Brown, no Bates, no Bill. Do you worry a little more about this game, PFT?
Oh, yeah, I'm worried about this game for sure, because the Falcons got blown out by the Carolina Panthers last week. They got embarrassed by a bad team, and I would much rather the Falcons have gone out there and smoked the Panthers 30-0 last week than losing, because that's how the NFL works. You got a lot of good players on the Falcons. They're embarrassed. They're going to practice hard this week. They're going to go out and have something to play for, their own pride on Sunday. So, yeah, I think this is a very dangerous spot for the Commanders. And yeah, I'm not very confident at all. The only thing I'm looking at is they're kind of in panic mode a little bit right now. They fired their receivers coach. They got TJ Yates coaching their receivers now. They've got their offensive coordinator moving from the booth down to the sidelines, which seems like that's one of the steps that you take on the path to seeing coaches get fired, is you bring them down to the sidelines, or you put them back up in the booth so that they can see more. It's just one of those moves that you're trying anything to make something work. But the key stat this week, I don't know if you guys heard this, but Michael Penix, as a starter in the NFL, has never won a game in which their opponents have scored more than 7 points, which is pretty crazy. I mean, wow. He hasn't started for that long, obviously, but the 2 games that he's won as a starter, the opponent scored 6 points or 7 points. So not exactly a ringing endorsement of. Now, they definitely played good enough to win in a couple of those games that they lost. I think that the Falcons and Commanders last year, that was a game that could have gone either way. There was a missed kick. There were some questionable timeouts that weren't used by Raheem Morris. So, yeah, they're a team that could very easily beat us, especially the fact that we're banged up at multiple levels, and they're desperate.
We're banged up, but I ask this question. Why is it more faith in Bill than Rodriguez or McNichols? McNichols been in the league 9 years. We watched him last week. We bragged about Rodriguez coming back this offseason and what he made the team again. I know Bill's a new little shiny toy, but What gives us so much confidence in him amongst the other guys?
I think because it's fun to say Bill. I think that's what it comes down to.
But we got to get past the cartoon characters of it at one point and start caring about who actually gets on the field and give you a chance. I believe McNichols gives you more than both of those guys because he gives you a combination of things he can do. The other guys are run guys. McNichols can run and catch the ball in the backfield.
No, I agree with you. I like watching Bill run. I think he's a very good young player. I think he's going to become something really great for this franchise. But you're right. Like right now, I don't see that as a major step back because they've all proven that they can stick around in the league, and you have to have something in your tool belt to make you be in the league that long. And we've seen some of his explosiveness too. So yeah, Bill, I like watching him run. He makes some great cuts. He's super smooth, but I don't see that. I look at that as more of a. I hope this isn't the start of a trend for the team where we're just losing guys left and right every week. And I know everybody gets hurt, but it does feel like you add Bill on top of everything, and it just contributes to the sense of oh no, what's going on? Let's keep everybody healthy. But you're right, X's and O's for this weekend. I don't see that as a big step back for us.
Who on this team has been like a fun surprise for you? I think Debo's been great, and getting to know Debo a little bit, I really enjoy kind of his personality. Not really in it for the BS, but like just really cares about football.
Yeah, Debo has been awesome this year. He is back to being old Debo. It's a great move. It looks like a great move for Peters to get him involved. But on the defensive side, Amos has seemed like he's been dialed in. He's a guy that we're going to hopefully have around for a long time at corner. And we've whiffed on a few cornerbacks recently in the draft. And to be able to say, I think we got a guy, that's a huge thing. And our secondary looks pretty good right now. So yeah, Amos is going to be a guy. That is a guy that I expect over the course of his career is going to be a multi-time Pro Bowler just based on the early returns from him. Obviously, we have to, we got to play the games and we got to keep him healthy, and he's got to, prove that he can do this over the course of a full season. But right now, it seems like that's a guy that was a great pick by Adam Peters. So I'm loving watching Amos.
Last thing, PFT, I wanted you to share your passes behind the line of scrimmage theory with BMitch.
Okay, yeah. So I was watching the Chiefs and the Giants on Sunday Night Football the other week, and I thought to myself, it'd be kind of cool if every pass that was thrown and received behind the line of scrimmage, if that counted as a lateral. So it was a live ball. So like a screen pass or a dump off to a running back, when Mahomes was like getting wrapped up by three guys. If that ball hits the ground, you see it anyways on the defense, like they all swarm to the ball after a dump off hits the ground just in case it was a lateral. I think it'd be cool for the chaos factor of it all if all those passes counted as laterals or live balls.
Everything's live behind the line of scrimmage.
Not as long as it's going forward, it's not.
Yeah, but I'm saying and I talked to Sam, who did the rules for the XFL, and he said that he was actually thinking about putting that rule into the XFL when he was designing it, but then they had to start thinking about what do you do with a batted ball.
That's what I'm saying.
Other things.
All those things pop up.
I like chaos, and I think that'd be a fun way to mix things up a little bit. And
you know what you'll be doing, PFT? You worried about these injuries right now? It'd be way more injuries then.
Yeah, you're probably right.
God, it's flying.
You're probably right about that one. Just turn every single pass behind the line of scrimmage into the old XFL kickoff, where they just run out and try to slide onto the ball.
Oh yeah,
that would be a bad move. But yeah, BMitch, congratulations on the on moving forward in the Hall of Fame nomination process.
Appreciate you.
You should be in the Hall of Fame. I want to say that for the record. Brian Mitchell should be in the Hall of Fame, and you'll always have my support with that one.
Thank you, bro.
We'll get him in. PFT, as always, thank you for your time. Bad news, Europe just tied up the last match. So
I just saw the putt.
This is looking dire, dude.
It looks big. It's early, man. It's early.
Yeah, it's not good. We need that crowd out in Long Island to step up. Come on.
It made Rory mad. They told me they needed a button to choke.
Yeah, that was funny. That was a good chirp from the gallery on that one. So I don't know, maybe get a little bit meaner out there. Come on, we can do this, USA.
Thank you for the time, man. Enjoy the football weekend.
All right, take care, guys.
All right, PFT.
All right. That's our friend, PFT Commenter.